So let me show you how these devils through the new Greek has perverted the true meaning of this word. Let me just put it in its original form and you can see exactly what it's saying. You are bought. Yeah, that's exactly what it means. I prefer buy you or sell you. They're trying to possess you with the mark of the beast. It's not about going in the stores. I used to think it was, y'all, because I didn't translate it. This is why Joshua warned us, how are we reading the word? How do you read it? Okay, he told you who hid the truth from you, the scribes. All this modern Greek, this was written in ancient Greek. You are bought, you are sold. You. If you get the mark of the beast, you are bought, you are sold. And the majority of people have the mark of the beast right now and are literally bought and sold. This is why Yahshua came to set us free. He paid the bride price. Okay, if you hold to my teaching, I like the one that says continue. And this is actually the truest form. If you continue, not in Paul's, no, if you continue in my word, you are truly my disciples. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Set you free from what? Well, you've been a slave to sin and you didn't even know it. You have already been bought and sold and you didn't know it. They answered him, look, they didn't know what he was talking about. We are Abraham's descendants. We have never been slaves of anyone. How can you say we shall be set free? They didn't understand they were in bondage then. They didn't understand that they had the mark of the beast, that they were thinking in a perverted way what they thought was right. That's why it says your right hand. That's what you think is right. They were getting wrong because they weren't going according to the word of God. They were going according to the word of man. I'm cutting this video short and I'm playing what I already recorded. I just wanted y'all to see that. Go translate it yourself. They have perverted so much stuff and just leading us in fear and not in the truth. All right, y'all. This video is going to be about Revelations chapter 13, about 14 through 18. The mark or sign of the beast. And what is it really saying? First, I'm going to start with the perversion. What man has taught us, that what it says and what it means. So people think that the mark of the beast is going to be a tattoo or a chip or some kind of symbol or mark that's going to go into people's right hand or between their eyes on their forehead. And unless you have this mark, you will not be able to buy anything or sell anything. That's what most people think it means, which all the way around is wrong. Okay, and I'm driving, so the only thing I'm going to put up later is the perversion, and I think it's Revelations 13:17. It's either 13:17 or chapter 13:18. I'm not sure right now. It's one of the two. Only one time in Revelation does it mention the buying and selling unless you have the mark of the beast. And first of all, that's not the true translation. If you look at the translation and you need to put it in its original form, there is a U on the end. They will not be able to buy you or sell you. Well, what does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean it's money, okay? It means that you're going to be a slave to the beast. They own you. This is why you can't stop sinning. Messiah came and he paid the bride price by doing what he did. This is what I'm assuming, okay? by doing what he did, which he didn't even want to do it, okay? For all those people that say he saved us, no, the Father sent his Son to save us. The Son showed us the way, because what did he say? He said, let this cup pass from me, but not my will. For those of you that think the Father and the Son are the same, they have two different wills. Not my will, but your will be done. He laid his life down to do the will of his Father. It was his Father that sent his Son to show us the way. And whoever believes on him, which means obey, will never perish. Most people say they believe in him, but they don't believe his word. They're liars. And believe means to obey in Greek. Just like one means an agreement with. That's why the husband and the wife shall get married or whatever and be as one. Doesn't mean the wife's going to have a penis and the husband's going to have a woman part or parts. Okay, so yes, the Father was in the Son, and he was the Word of God manifested in the flesh, not God manifested in the flesh, the Word of God manifested in the flesh. And this, I've been going back and forth with this too, but I see where they perverted God. And what those original translations were abbreviations. Some of them meant God, Elohim, and some of them meant Son of God, and they just translated them all exactly the same. That's what they do to hide the truth from us. That's why so many people are literally worshiping the Son. We are supposed to obey the Son. Nowhere does it say we're supposed to worship the Son. Now, actually, I think it's John, is it John 7:58 or 8:50? I don't know. They perverted that. They added that. Nobody worshipped him. They added that. Two translations that looked to have a whole video on it. Okay, so now the mark of the beast. And I'm going to show you. Don't take my word. I'm going to show you how they mistranslated it. And if you break it down, it actually translates you are bought, you are sold, okay, in its original form. But what makes more sense to me, how I read it, is buy you, sell you. Okay, remember what the Pharisees were saying to Yahshua Jesus. They're like, we've never been slaves. They're so dumb and dense because they didn't really love the word of God. They didn't even know they were a slave right then. Just like most people have the mark of the beast right now, okay, because they are doing with the right hand, meaning what they think is right, but it's wrong. That's why he said if your right eye is bad, like, there's like no right light in you, or it's pretty much like you're corrupt because you think you're doing right, but you're wrong. Your right eye is like your righteous eye, what you think is right. If you think you're doing right and it's wrong, like you really lost. Okay, so we know from those that actually study the word what the mark or sign of being a true child of God is. Okay, the covenant of God. We write his law, his commandments on our heart, and they are as a sign between our eyes, on our forehead, and on our hand. That's the covenant we need to be under. That's the sign we need to be under. That's the true sign mark. And these are symbolic things. So everyone that's waiting to get some chip in their hand or their forehead, it ain't gonna happen. Okay, you just don't understand the word, and I didn't either because I believed it too. But anyways, I'm going into adultery. I'll be right back. Okay, back on. So what was I saying? Revelations 13, chapters 17 and 18. Or actually chapters 14 through 18. The mark of the beast is thinking like the beast. Why it says the right hand is because that's what you think is right. Just like your eye. If your right eye is bad, then you can hang it up, because that means you think you're doing right, but you're doing bad. And that's what happens to these people that think they're keeping God's commandments, and they're actually making void God's commandment and going according to the beast, okay, which the false prophet is causing y'all to worship. These devils, Paul, Muhammad, Joseph Smith, Buddha, I don't even know, there's so many. Okay, your pastor, your brother, your daddy, your uncle, anybody you put before the word of God. Okay, so what did Yahshua, Jesus, tell the Pharisees? I think I hit on that. I don't remember if I
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto East Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard.
Okay, he said, dang, all these speed bumps. He said, what did he say, man? I can't think. Okay.
Take the next right onto East Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard.
GPS is still on.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Ed Blestein Boulevard. Signs for US 183 North.
Yeah, so these people thought they weren't slaves, and they were. You know, they're like, what do you mean? If we continue in your word, we'll be set free. Like, we've never been a slave. People are taking the mark of the beast now. They've already been bought and sold. Okay? And you need to be under the covenant of God. Be going according to his law. Dang, my windows are fogged up. But yeah, they don't want to do that. They want to go down that broad, wide
Turn left
path.
onto Ed Blestein Boulevard. Signs for US 183 North. Then continue straight.
Let me tell you what that broad, wide path that leads to hell is. You can eat whatever you want.
Continue straight.
You can eat whatever you want. It's not food that matters.
Continue for 1.5 miles.
Doesn't matter that God said don't eat any unclean food. Don't eat food sacrificed to idols, because now you're going according to your master Paul. And before y'all open your mouth to say, well, Jesus said it's not what you put in, but what comes out. First of all, that was written in Hebrew, and that is so perverted. I have to do a video on that. So the thing about Matthew is that I love Matthews, don't get me wrong, but a lot of things has been perverted, and you can't go to the Greek. You got to go to the Hebrew. And then when you do go to the Hebrew, they've even added and subtracted from what we have. And I bought a book. I'm trying to find the original, but I don't have it. But I have a book that shows the perversion. And I didn't even notice it until after I started translating. And then I noticed this weird stuff at the bottom. It's like even these books, it's like coded. But yeah, they've tore it up and they've hid the truth from us. Matthews is one of the worst perversions. That's not true. That's not true. Matthews has been perverted, but there is a lot of really good stuff in Matthews. But you're going to want to verify something at least twice, especially before you start going to eat swine, because those that eat swine will be thrown into the lake of fire. I mean, if that's what you want, go for it. But you're going to wish you wouldn't have. Anyways, y'all. I'm tired, and I'm gonna get off here for now. I'll probably add a little bit to the end of this to show you how they perverted it. Okay, so we don't have to worry about not being able to buy and sell. All you need to worry about is keeping God's covenant so they can't buy and sell you. I'm out.